The giving key. I went back and forth on how I would describe my journey. It was a unique one. I came across the website through an actor that I decided to follow on Twitter. And I had saw one of his pictures. He was wearing a key around his neck. So I decided to check it out. And when I came to the site, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the coolest idea ever. I totally support this. I have to help out in some way, shape, or form. And so I went to the key inventory and I said, please let there be one for fearless, because I have been telling myself to be fearless and trying to remind myself to be fearless, but I haven't really done it. And I felt like, if I get this key, there's no excuse. I'm going to hold myself accountable. And there it was. There was fearless. And I just remember the first day that I got my key in the mail, I lit up my face. I was smiling. I felt confident. I'm like, yeah, I'm fearless. But with that came tests. And it seemed like as soon as I got my key, there were more tests for me to be fearless. And I, thought there were many times where I thought I was going to give up. But then I said, no, you don't have a spirit of fear. You have a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. So I just kept saying to myself, you're fearless. And then when those moments came where I said, I don't know if I can be fearless, I would look at my key and I would rub my key and I'm like, you're fearless, you're fearless. You can finish school. You can write. You can travel. I wanted to do so many things and I always let fear stop me from doing it. And, growing up, people would say, Kenesha, you can't go to New York. You can't go to New York and see a show. You can't finish school. You can't go to college. You can't graduate at the top of your class. And I told myself I could. And, going through elementary, middle school, and high school, I did that. I graduated top of my class and all those things. But then when it came time for me to really be an adult and be independent, I started to lose faith in myself and lose faith in my ability to do well. And I kind of shut down. I just became like a shell of myself. I didn't want to do things because I was afraid that I was going to fail. And then I got my key. And I said, okay, Kenesha, now it's time for your rebound. Now it's time for you to step up your game and be that person that you know that you can be, that you know you were called to be. And I just started to feel confident. I remember driving home that first day that I had it, and I just felt confident. I felt like I could take on the world and nobody could stop me. And I started wearing my key for about a few months, and I started to feel like, okay, it's time to move on. It's time to get another key. You're going to go through the whole process and get one key at a time and pass it on to other people and encourage them the way that I was encouraged. But then I started to say, oh, crap, I don't know who to give it to, or I don't know if I'm ready to give it up. And then the Pay It Forward movement today came along, and I said, you know what? Now is the time. Now is the time to pass your key on. And I went back and forth, well, who will I give it to? Who do I know that needs to be fearless the most? And just at that moment, my nephew came walking through the doors, and I'm like, wow, like, look at this timing. And just looking at him, my heart skipped a beat, because he reminds me of myself when I was his age. He's 17, and he's going into his last year of being a minor, and he has so many emotions. He's graduating high school at the end of the school year, and he wants to write, and he wants to do things that people told me that I couldn't do, that I kind of pushed to the side because I started to believe that. And my whole reason behind giving him the key was to remind him, you don't have to worry about what other people say. You don't have to worry about failing. Don't fear failure, because you only fail when you don't try. And I just kept encouraging him, like, you can do it. You can do anything that you set your mind to. I believe in you. I have faith in you. And when you don't believe that you can do it, here's this key as a reminder that you can be fearless, that you are fearless, and that you don't have to let fear stand in your way. And I was so glad to be able to give the key to someone, knowing that it was going to encourage him with the whole purpose and emotion for him to pass it on to someone else. And so I'm glad that I'm able to entrust my key that says fearless to someone that I know who's going to be fearless and who's going to allow someone else to be encouraged to be fearless. I'm so excited for the next key. Even if I don't make it in the first 20 or whatever, I'm just excited to move on to the next key and just continue to grow and experience what life has to offer for me and everyone else. So I thank you guys for checking out my video and my story. I try to keep it short, but looked like time slipped away from me. I hope you guys have a nice rest of your day, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.